Kelechi Iheanacho has officially left Celtic and signed for a Turkish second division side, despite the player saying he wanted to stay and the manager saying he wanted him back. Celtic's own goalkeeper has also come out today and admitted the squad needs strengthening before the season starts. Brian Wilson made a promise to supporters back in April, and tonight the fans are still waiting. And we have got a brilliant piece of Celtic history coming home to Celtic Park. A packed video, let's get into it. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. A piece of Celtic history is back where it belongs. Celtic's Coronation Cup has returned to Celtic Park after being sent away for specialist restoration work on both the trophy itself and its wooden base. The silverware was lifted by Jock Stein at Hampden in 1953, and after 73 years it was beginning to show the signs of age you would expect. The metalwork was handled by a specialist in Sheffield, while the wooden base was sent to a separate wood specialist. Two different experts, one extraordinary piece of history. The story of how Celtic came to win that trophy makes it even more special. Celtic entered the Coronation Cup after finishing 8th in the league, which meant nobody gave them a chance. They were drawn against English champions Arsenal in the opening round and won 1-0. They then beat Manchester United 2-1 in the semi-final, and in the final at Hampden, with close to 120,000 spectators inside the ground, they faced Hibernian and won 2-0 through goals from Neil Mocan and Jimmy Walsh. Celtic are the only club ever to have won the Coronation Cup because it was a one-off competition that was never repeated. No other club can ever win it. It belongs to Celtic's history alone. The man who lifted it, Jock Stein, was not yet the legendary manager who would go on to lead Celtic to the European Cup. In 1953, he was the captain, holding the trophy up on the podium at Hampden. That connection between the player and the manager makes the trophy even more layered with meaning. Celtic's head of stadium tours and memorabilia, Frank Rafters, said the finished restoration has brought the trophy close to the condition it was in on the day Stein lifted it. It is now back at Celtic Park and available to see on the stadium tour. For any Celtic supporter who has not done that tour yet, now is a good time. Now for the main story, as Kelechi Iheanacho has officially and formally completed his exit from Celtic, signing for Turkish second division side Bursaspor, after Celtic failed to agree a new contract with the striker despite months of trying. Bursaspor confirmed the signing through their official social media account this afternoon, putting an end to any remaining hope of the Nigerian returning to Celtic Park. The facts of this situation make for uncomfortable reading. Iheanacho joined Celtic on a one-year deal in September 2025, with the club holding an option to extend for a further season. That option was not taken up before the original contract expired, which meant Celtic had to go back to the table and negotiate a fresh deal from scratch with a player who was now a free agent. Throughout that process, Martin O'Neill made no secret of his desire to keep him. The player himself, after scoring in the Scottish Cup final victory over Dunfermline, said he hoped he would still be a Celtic player at the start of next season and left it for the club to sort out. What followed was nearly 2 months of nothing, no agreement, no announcement, and today the confirmation that Iheanacho has signed elsewhere. It is the details that make this so difficult to defend. Celtic knew everything about this player already, his fitness record, his wage expectations, his strengths off the bench, how he fitted into O'Neill's system. There was no scouting process required and no transfer fee to pay to another club. He was a free agent who had already proven what he could do in a Celtic shirt. He scored twice in the Scottish Cup semi-final against St Mirren, delivered important goals during the title run-in, and came off the bench to score at Hampden in the final. Celtic wanted him. He wanted Celtic. No transfer fee was required, and he is now at a club playing in Turkey's second tier. CEO Michael Nicholson spoke this week about the difficulty of competing with Premier League clubs in the transfer market. This was not the transfer market. This was a free agent re-signing with the club he just won a double with. The inability to make that happen will only sharpen the scrutiny on Celtic's recruitment operation heading into the new season. In other news, Viliami Sinisalo has come out publicly and admitted that Celtic still need to strengthen the squad before the new campaign begins. speaking ahead of Saturday's friendly against Middlesbrough at Celtic Park. The Finnish goalkeeper was careful to acknowledge the quality already in the dressing room. He pointed out that the squad is full of winners who delivered a double last season, and that those players deserve credit for what they achieved. But when asked directly whether Celtic needed more additions, his answer was clear. He said, "Do we need strengthening in areas? Yes, of course we do. You always build from a position of strength. That's what this club looks to do, and I'm hopeful that the club will definitely do that." That is a significant admission. Sinisalo is not a player known for making waves publicly. The fact that he felt comfortable enough to say directly that the squad needs reinforcing suggests it is a view shared widely inside the building, not just among supporters looking in from the outside. Celtic have made one signing this summer. Camilo Duran arrived from Qarabag and made an impressive start in Portugal, scoring within 5 minutes of his debut. But one new face is not enough for a squad preparing to compete domestically and in the Champions League qualifiers, and the players know it. O'Neill has said the same thing in his own way. Sinisalo has now confirmed it from inside the dressing room. The pressure on the board to act is growing from every direction. In other news, Celtic interim chairman Brian Wilson made a commitment to supporters back in April that the club were about to appoint a new head of supporter engagement, a brand new role designed to create a proper, structured link between the club and its support. 3 months later, supporters are still waiting. Wilson announced the role publicly in April, describing it as part of a much more organised approach to communication with the fan base. The phrase he used was that the club were about to appoint someone, which suggested the process was at an advanced stage. He attended a recent meeting of the Association of Irish Celtic Supporters Clubs in Cork alongside CEO Michael Nicholson, where the minutes show he acknowledged Celtic had fallen short in their communication with supporters and said it remained an area the club was working to improve. He also spoke about Celtic's connection with Ireland and the commitment the Irish support shows by travelling regularly to games. But there was no update on the head of supporter engagement role. No confirmation of a candidate, no timeline, no detail on how the new structure would operate. That gap between what was promised in April and what has been delivered in July is becoming a pattern. The board acknowledged last season that mistakes were made. Wilson said communication needed to improve. The CEO met supporters this week, and the minutes suggest his main contribution was pointing to external factors for Celtic's transfer difficulties. That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Hail, hail.